Hello on the Rockers. On this week's episode, we chat with 90 Day Fiance's The Other Way fan favorite couple, Kenny and Armando, live from Mexico. Spilling the tea on everything with me, your favorite host with the sassy most. Raise a glass and let the drinks begin.
And most poor suckers are starving to death.
I'd like to propose a toast.
This is On the Rocks with Alexander, where I drink with your favorite celebrities as we talk about fashion, entertainment, pop culture, reality TV, and, well, that's about it. So pop a cork, lean back, and raise a glass to On the Rocks.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Oh, listen to that applause. You know, I live for the applause. Buttons and bows and pantyhose on the Rocks podcast, a place where we're too glam to give a damn. Okay, 90 Day Fiance. Girl, I can't even get a second date, and there's this huge show about all these people that are getting married, and I'm just watching it like, wah, wah. It is a great reality show about people all over the globe getting married, and I have to tell you, I binge-watched season 2 and season 3 hour after hour, day after day. And there's a lot of episodes, I got to tell you. I'm embarrassed to say that I had not seen the show before. In my mind, I thought it was a reality show that was highlighting engaged couples, just for a reality TV show fodder. But I will tell you on the Rockers, it was not. It is a complex, emotional look at engaged couples, like I said, from all over the world, often displacing an American in a very foreign environment in the name of love. Beyond the relationship aspect, it is a very unique dive into other cultures from India, Russia, Ethiopia, Korea, Jordan, and of course Mexico. And I'm going to blame the people over at TLC for the bags under my eyes because I couldn't stop watching. I'm all caught up, by the way, and I cannot wait for the new episode. So I highly recommend, especially after you hear this fabulous episode, you're going to watch. Like us on Twitter and Instagram at On The Rocks On Air and on Facebook, On The Rocks Radio Show. Send me an email, book me for a wedding, funeral, quinceañera, bris. I don't care. I will show up. Info at OnTheRocksRadioShow.com. The show is presented by Straw Hut Media. You can watch and or listen to our now over 300 episodes at OnTheRocksRadioShow.com. You can watch us on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV on the Outlet.tv app, Facebook Watch, streaming with pride on SVTV, and Channel 31 on the East Coast. Hello, East Coast. Share, subscribe, leave a comment. We keep the show for you for free. Message me if you're single. Maybe we can have our own 90 Day Fiance spinoff. But I'm not moving unless your credit score is over 750. The show is brought to you by FanDaddies.com, bringing you the sassiest and classiest clacking fans and hats for prides, EDM parties, sassy selfies, and even sci-fi nerds. Head to FanDaddies.com. Okay, you want to see On The Rocks on the road? I get tons of messages saying, where are you going to be next? Saturday, December 4th at 1 p.m., On The Rocks will be on the scene for LA Comic-Con. We're a panelist for gay geeks and where to find them. We're celebrating the LGBTQ and sci-fi and the geek world. I may or may not be in full Star Trek uniform. It's not fitting so well right now, and we haven't even gotten into Thanksgiving. And here we are worrying about heading to space. How about working on beaming my muffin top away? That's the technology we need. Also, do you love my deep, sultry voice? This week marks the premiere of hearing my gorgeous voice around the nation on Channel Q FM, bringing my sassy news bites to over 22 major cities near you, representing GED Magazine and MetroSource Magazine. So pucker up, Buttercup. Check your local FM listings for Channel Q. Okay, let's get this show on the road. We are traveling to Mexico. Kenny and Armando make up the couple that everyone is talking about. The runaway stars of 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Side, are back, currently in Season 3, just about to premiere their wedding episode, by the way. Check out their People Magazine's exclusive pics. And just to catch you up, if you haven't seen the show, Kenny and Armando met on a single dad's Facebook group, not Grindr, allegedly. And after years of chats and a powerful visit, Kenny left his life surrounded by his 4 children, relocated to Mexico to join Armando and his gorgeous and sassy daughter, Hannah. Yes, gays can have kids too. Hello. Now that they have settled in Mexico and gotten through COVID, this season shows them diving into planning their beautiful wedding. Armando wants to spare no expense, but Kenny is nervous about how much the wedding is going to cost. One thing they agree on, however, is their concern over whether Armando's family will support them as a gay couple and attend the wedding. First, Armando must open up to his father about his engagement to Kenny. Meanwhile, Kenny and Armando begin to plan long-term. As Kenny grapples with the guilt of missing his children in Florida, Armando brings up the topic of giving Hannah a younger sibling. drama, by the way, but all good drama is what I want to say. It's very emotional. This opens up a complicated debate over whether they both agree on expanding their family, and we're going to spill the tea on this show and find out. And that's it. Like I said, there's no negative drama. It's dealing with a Latin family. Hello, please welcome Kenny and Armando. Ay ay ay!
Hello. Hola.
Hola. Okay, now before we deep dive into, pretty much everything, and we got so many fan questions, by the way, I want to address some very serious questions that I have. First of all, is Carlos, the wedding planner's assistant, single?
Carlos is the
assistant.
Who's the little one? The little one that needed a booster seat to sit on the chair. Oh, okay. Is he single?
I think he is.
Well, hello, 90 Day Fiance, season 4. Can you imagine me in the same town as you guys? Forget it. Except I think my show would be called 30 Day Second Date. That's all. Second of all, Kenny, this is very serious. How long did it take for you to find a barber in Mexico who could do that haircut? Do you?
That's a hard one. Yeah.
It is a hard one because I've gone through many, and I walked out very mad a few times.
Especially with the language barrier, just like, mas arriba, no Akia, right? This was literally a gay concern I had. I thought, he's moving to Mexico with that haircut? How's he going to maintain that? And you did.
That reason alone almost made me move back.
Those are the deleted scenes. Can you imagine? Hair emergency. But I have to tell you, watching the show totally changed my idea about reality TV in covering relationships. We've seen shows like The Bachelor. We've seen shows like Married at First Sight. We've seen shows like Love Island. All seem to capitalize and sexualize the idea of what a relationship is. This show really blew my mind because it's totally different. But how could you know that going in? How did you get involved with TLC, and what was the audition process like?
Well, how it happened for us, 90 Day Fiance the other way, the show that we're on is a spin-off of the original, which is 90 Day Fiance, right, where the American goes, or where the foreigner comes to America to be with the person they fell in love with. And I was going to be moving to Mexico in a few months at that time. And I saw The Other Way debut, the first season. Right. And I talked to Armando and I said, hey, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm moving to another country. And I said, you want to fill out something? So we went online, filled out the information. And then after a couple months, here we are.
No, I didn't even know what the show was about.
Yeah.
He actually used to talk to me about it. And I always say there's these crazy couples. They do these crazy things. And that's all I knew about the show. So when he brought it up, I was like, oh, crap, what are we doing?
Yeah. He actually went on YouTube to kind of investigate a little bit, and he still wanted to sign up, so.
Well, and I have to say, Kenny was an openly gay man. Armando, you, not so much. Weren't you afraid of putting this story and your family for the whole world to see? It's a wildly popular show.
Yeah, I definitely was a little bit afraid. To be honest, when we did apply, it was one of those things where I thought it would get nowhere. We wouldn't get cast, because those things never happen, never get anywhere. But one thing led to another. Soon enough, I found myself too far into it to where it was hard to backtrack or anything. I already had a camera crew at my house. So it was hard to say otherwise. But in the end, it was kind of good because it was like, it helped me just take the Band-Aid off and just come out to my family again and to the world.
And when you know that so many people are watching the show, and you were representing, the first same-sex gay couple for the season, for the series, knowing that somebody from another small town in Mexico or any other country is now seeing the show, and they're seeing the conversations that you can have with your family, and some of the repercussions, good or bad, but these are conversations now. There's the language there. You guys have kind of set that out there. So in sharing your story, but
yeah, well, in a lot of ways, we've gotten a lot of feedback and a lot of messages where people reach out and say, you really helped me, or you really helped me understand my child who is gay, or I'm very religious, and I've changed my perspective on gay marriage, gay individual relationships. So we've helped that in many ways. I didn't realize that would be the case when I signed up. But it definitely is good to know that, we are helping many, even one person, and that's something we said early on.
We talked about it early on. Like, he was worried about doing it a little bit. Me, not so much. But I said, we might be able to help even one person. And especially with Armando's story on coming out, we definitely help some people because we both get tons of messages of kids that have come out because of us, parents that are accepting their kids because of us, or showing them a new side of a relationship. Because there's a lot of young gay people still out there in the world, even in the United States, but a lot in Mexico, that don't think they can have a real relationship with someone of the same sex. They don't see how it's possible. And that's one thing Armando went through. He didn't see how that could be possible. How can you have a loving, romantic relationship and just kind of a normal relationship? And I wanted to show that you can.
Well, and what I loved as a gay man, and what I loved about your story on the show is that you represented the only couple of season 2 that started from a healthy place. There were no trust issues. There was no cheating. There was no lies that we saw in the other, and which is very different from the stereotype we have for gay culture. We're all sleeping around. We're all getting drunk and having drama at Sunday Funday brunch. Did you have a hand in kind of developing what your story was going to be and kind of look like on the show, or was it just happening all around you?
With us, I can't speak for anybody else, but with us, we went into it and we even told our producers that, we're going to be us. We're going to be real, the good, the bad, the ugly with it. Some people may like us, some people won't. But we didn't really navigate a story. We really just live our story and what was really happening at these moments that they captured, on film, because we really just wanted to be real. And I think it shows. So honestly, we didn't kind of manufacture anything. We didn't set up this was going to happen, that was going to happen. It just all happened.
Yeah, and I think in a lot of ways also, when you do see the show, there are a lot of emotions. We do cry a lot because we really, decided to put our minds into it and really be ourselves. And I think it shows. And obviously the viewers appreciate that. And we love, having the support we have and being truthful also to those that are viewing our story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I know, crying a lot. I know some of the social media people make sassy comments or whatnot. It's like, shut up. But what I really love is what's changing in our culture, and this is what's happening in media, also in real life, even in different cultures, is the whole idea of machismo and being masculine. That kind of is changing. Now it's like being masculine now means so many different things. We have pop stars, straight pop stars who are masculine, who are wearing, nail polish, or they're changing their dress. We have men that are able to show their emotions. And this is what's happening all around media. And, you're part of that. So, if you cry a bit, it's because you're actually feeling life in a healthy way instead of bottling it up.
A lot of it really was. I knew I said to myself, I'm not going to bottle it up, because at first I think I tried to stop myself or try to get out of the moment or something. But these last couple years that we've been on the show and showing our life, we both had tons of changes that we've never had in our life before. And I just said, I'm just going to let out what I let out. And like I said, I've had so many different emotions go through me these last 2 years. And I just decided to, be honest with it.
One of my friends from Palm Springs, he's a huge fan, Jim Hollenbach. He sends you a shout out from Palm Springs, California.
Was that Jim?
Jim, yes.
Oh, hello, Jim. Kenny and I and Truffles. Truffles was barking, our dog.
We love Truffles. I want to talk about your roles as single dads prior to the show, which very different experiences, obviously, from each other. Something I also loved was seeing the love that you and your children share in such a positive, open, and supportive way. It was very tear-jerking and quite a change from the family relationships you see captured on reality TV. But beyond the sexuality aspect, I want to know from both of you, because your experiences as a single parent are so different. Beyond the sexuality issue, what were your biggest challenges, or what have been your biggest challenges as a single parent?
For me, I was really lucky because I did have my children early on, meaning in the 90s and that. And a lot of gay men weren't having kids at that time. Such the way I did it through in vitro fertilization. And back then, you had to be married to a woman. They wouldn't even do it if you were single or if you weren't married to a woman. So we had to fake all this stuff like we were. And I had my kids, and I knew I wanted to be a parent. My worry was, you know, how outside influences would affect them, like being raised by a gay man, because they've always known me as gay. I was gay from the very beginning. And I raised them in St. Petersburg, Florida, which is very diverse, very open. So we never had any problem whatsoever, not one problem the entire time. It was just beautiful. And that's like, you might have saw in the first season, we got called homophobic slur here when two of my daughters were here.
Yep.
And they cried about it and they were upset about it. And I saw some people online say, oh, like they'd never heard that before, but they never did. They never heard their dad be called a name. And it was the first time, and it really was something. So, but the challenge for me, I didn't really have one besides any single parent would, or going through different, trying to have a boyfriend or something like that, just normal kind of stuff like that. But not as far as anything, I didn't have a big deal about it.
It must have been hard to date, though, especially with the dynamic that you have with all four of your kids. I would find that very intimidating if I was to date somebody with such a strong bond. It's like, you know, how could I ever be a part of that? And we see that, yes, somebody can be a part of that. But that must have been intimidating for somebody to kind of go on that first date and be like, oh, by the way, I have 4 kids at home.
Yeah, the 4 kids alone turn people off. Some people. It's not a dude magnet, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there were some that were like that. I had one, long-term relationship during the time I was raising my kids, and it was all fine. But I always put them first. I didn't put myself first. Dating someone or finding someone wasn't my priority, and I just had that in my head, and I was cool with it. I had no problem with it. And even with Armando, when we met organically. Oh, by the way, it's not a single support group. It's for gay fathers. It's just a support group for gay fathers. It's for anybody. There's mostly, actually, there are a lot of couples on there that have kids, and it's just like you share pictures of your kids, or if you have questions or concerns about things, and just stuff like navigating through that. But that's where we met, and we just became friends. Neither one of us were looking for anybody, and it just built into this really, honestly, organically. So like I said, it wasn't at the top of my list, like, oh, I got to find somebody or anything like that.
And Armando, you and Hannah suffered a devastating blow with the loss of your wife. How did you and Hannah work through that grief? What advice do you have for parents out there who are going through a grieving process with their kids?
Well, for me, obviously, it was a very difficult process, going through something that you never expect. Especially, losing the parent of my daughter. The mother was really hard. Hannah was 3 years at the time, and it was a very hard time, and I didn't know how to navigate life. I mean, you're just lost. All I can say is you just got to push forward, push through, and hope for the best. Even though in the moment I felt like life was ending for me, and obviously dealing with my sexuality too was very difficult, and being scared of the future, and also being gay and teaching or showing that to Hannah, if she would not appreciate or reject me in a way, or I don't know what word to use, but it was a lot of unknowns that were very scary. And obviously, like, that's one of the reasons why I did join the gay father support group that I found. That was really the only support I had around me at the time, because I couldn't talk to my family, I couldn't talk to friends because I wasn't out to anyone. So having this gay support group, it was very helpful. And soon enough, I did meet Kenny, and I found support in him. We became friends, and he in a lot of ways helped me navigate through life. And obviously, the fact that he was a father was attractive to me, because I knew, he had been through those things. And I remember one time he told me that, or he actually showed me a tweet that one of his daughters had done years before that. And it said that having a gay father was the best thing that could have ever happened to her. And I remember just really analyzing that tweet, and really it touched me, because it was like, you know what, I really want my daughter to be proud of me like that, like his kids are. So obviously those, things added up one after another, and I became more and more attracted. And he really did help me stay and then be strong and be who I am today.
And he kind of likes silver daddies.
Wow.
It was that haircut. Now you're going to see that haircut on every single dad. They're going to have the Kenny haircut. They're like, you like me now? But talking about Hannah, such a standout from the show is what a beautiful young girl she is. Even with a language barrier, naturally accepting your relationship, and having gone through the coming out again with your family. I mean, she was there for that. Has Hannah had any pushback from school teachers or classmates or even still other family members regarding your relationship?
No, I mean, everything obviously has been a process, and a lot of it is me. And early on, definitely my mom, for example, my family, they were concerned about Hannah and how she would perceive it, how she would take it. But it was always very slow, and kind of, obviously we started out as friends according to her, and just took it slow with her. And she's fine with it. She loves her two daddies. And I mean, she's never been negative. Really?
No.
Well, not her being negative, but classmates or her teachers or anything.
Outside, like your family members or people like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for one, Kenny was here only a few months when he first moved here, and that's when COVID hit. So there was no school. So there wasn't a long time where she has two dads and she's been in school. But the little bit of time that she was, things seemed to be okay. We never heard of anything bad. And obviously that concern was there. And it is in the future, but it's reality. And obviously, like I always try to tell her, you just always be proud of your two dads and proud of your family.
Well, one thing that is kind of different here, and I know Armando was like, "Do we have to do that?" Like when we registered her for school,
This was hard. It was hard.
We put her in a private school, and I said we have to tell them, we're a same-sex couple, and that we have to let them know right away in case someone there has an issue with it. And he was surprised, like, we have to tell him. But I found it that here you kind of still do because you're just not sure. So any place we've had to do a few things that I thought we had to let him know, we have to let him know. And that's like a little bit different for him.
Yeah.
Well, especially, it's like, Hannah, here's some white guy who can't speak Spanish coming to pick you up from school. Like, obviously, you have to have that conversations. You went from being quiet single dads in love to having cameras in your face and your family's faces 24/7. That must have been quite an adjustment. I love this picture, by the way. No, I love this picture, by the way, because this is the reality of reality TV. And, girl, I have been there too. But what were the first few days? Yeah, it's like, turn around, girl. What were the first few days of filming like for you when, like you said, all of a sudden there's this crew here?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've always been very quiet and I don't like attention or anything. So it was, again, when I started seeing one person get off after another off their vans, and it was like, what did I get myself into? But they were all very, very nice, very welcoming, I'd say, and just made you feel comfortable. And it really made it easy to be yourself, to talk to family.
They end up blending in.
Yeah.
You really forget they're even there.
Yeah. And so it was easy.
And you both have become fan favorites from the show, being asked back for season 3. Your social media has blown up. Your wedding pictures are in People magazine, for God's sake. When did you first realize that you guys were a hit on the show?
When we would walk around and people would run up to us. It was kind of funny. We'd have people, even in Mexico, we have people that run up to us that see the show. We'll go places. Like there's a Costco here. We were just in Costco and we had like 3 or 4 different people come up to us. So that was a little bit different having that happen.
Yeah. Which is interesting because, I mean, to me, it's like, hey, I'm just a normal guy. What's so exciting about me, Mm-hmm. But it's fun. It's nice to be loved and have the support we have.
Hey, get this. I had to go and actually drive into San Diego from down here because something happened with my car and I had to go to a dealership. And I went there and I had a hat on, a mask on and everything. And the dealership's manager kept looking at me And about half hour later, while I'm waiting for the car, she comes out. She goes, "Are you Kenny?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "I know you from your voice."
Yeah.
So my voice gave me away to her.
But this is the intimacy of the show, and I think this is why I continued watching the show episode after episode, to the fact that I didn't go to sleep one night. There's this intimacy that the audience really feels with you and your family, that we feel the emotions that you're feeling. We're affected by your story rather than just watching a reality show. But we begin to really associate ourselves with your vocal timbre, with the way that you look, with the way your mannerisms. I mean, seeing you guys now, face to face, it's like these guys, like we're all old friends. There's that intimacy and that chemistry that is really built. And this kind of show, you can't fake that chemistry. It's not like a Housewives type show where it's all show for the camera. There's real life that's happening, and there are real stakes involved and real people involved. But there's also this joy in that you have shared so much with us, and with each other. Your smiles. We find ourselves smiling. I'm excited for the wedding, and I wasn't even invited.
Yeah. We're excited to see it too.
Yeah, you're like, oh God, what's in it? Now, did you watch every episode as it came out, or when were you watching it with friends and family, or were you nervous watching the first few shows?
To tell you the truth, we only watch it together. People want to watch it with us, but we don't, because we don't know what's going to show ourselves. They film a lot, and not all of it makes it, or we don't even remember what we said in half the stuff that you see. And
we end up crying again. So
we end up crying ourselves.
We do it in front of people. We're like, let's just stay alone and let's cry on our own.
I'm like, holy shit, why am I crying to myself?
I love Kenny.
I
love when you were driving by yourself, and then you were like talking to yourself, and then here you were getting a little emotional. It's like, oh, it's so cute.
I know. Cute or annoying, one or the other.
No, it's adorable, and it's real, and that's the point. It's like, yes, men can cry. That's what we can do. Armando, have your parents watched the show?
They have never actually. They
wow.
They never have.
They don't realize what it's all about.
No, they don't realize that it's all over the world, actually.
Yeah,
wow.
I forget how many countries it's in, but I think it's well over 100 countries that the show plays in. And it plays in Mexico, but they don't watch it. They're just like, kind of oblivious to the whole thing. But he has had some people that have gone up to his mom in her town asking if she's Armando's mother. Oh my God, I love you, and starts hugging him and stuff like that know the show. Yeah. So she's had people come up to her, and she's like, "What the heck?"
That's interesting. Okay, we have some fan questions.
Okay.
You can answer them or not answer them, but I'm just sharing the wealth. Fan question.
We'll try.
Kenny, why is your Spanish still not up to par? Armando's able to communicate with your family.
Next question, please.
Sponsored by Rosetta Stone.
No, sponsored by Babbel.
Babble.
I babble. Actually, I know I'm going to say it again. The first season, I never let out. One of my problems was I just let people kind of bash me a little bit. But I'm severely dyslexic. I have been since the beginning. It didn't get diagnosed till later in life, because back when I was in school in the Stone Age, they didn't know what the problem was. They thought I was seeing things backwards and stuff. But I even misspell English words. I mispronounce English words. I mix phrases up, and he's noticed it now living with me a couple of years. It happens. But learning a new language is unbelievably difficult, not just with my age, but because I am dyslexic. So it really, really, really is hard. I've caught on to a lot of stuff. I mean, I understand a lot. I understand him a lot more. I understand his family a lot more. Speaking it is really a problem, but it's never going to really happen for me. It's just a fact. It's not. So I know I'll keep getting bashed, but it's how it is.
But, you know, I really
Sorry,
love
but-
that you share that because dyslexia still to this day gets undiagnosed in so many cases, especially in poor school districts where that's not even part of the language that's happening. And so thank you for bringing that to light, that, dyslexia is a big issue. Okay, other fan question. Do you think it was fair to keep surprising your families on camera, such as I'm coming out again, I'm moving away, oh, we're getting engaged, now we're getting married, and now we're thinking about adopting?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I'll say something first. He has to think for a second. He's an overthinker. A lot of it, none of these things would have happened if almost it wasn't done on camera. Meaning like they might not have been so open to sit down and talk or listen clearly, different reasons like that. This really, I believe, has been very helpful for his family and his relationship with his family. I know some people might think they're getting beat up or bashed or something like this. These are all real conversations that had to happen. It just happened to be a camera on it. And also, a lot of people don't understand the time frame. It seems like it happened in, a week.
Right.
This is spread out over years that this really happened. Besides 2 years of us being on the show, a lot of this happened before the show even began, meaning like he came out like 7 years ago to them and they shoved him back in the closet and said, no, and, that he's the devil and everything is bad for him. And, you're going to go to hell and all that kind of stuff. So they actually put him back in the closet. They weren't oblivious to it. They didn't grow. They weren't, living in a hole or something. They're smart people. They know. But so a lot of it was where he got the strength. Like, I'm not turning back. I'm telling him what it is. And I'm going to continue to keep telling him. But a lot of the stuff with adoption or getting married and all that kind of stuff, it was over almost a 2-year period.
Well, Kenny said. He said it perfect.
Does that make sense?
No, it really does. And capturing it was so important in telling the story, not just your story, but the story of your family. And what I really loved, Armando, about, covering your mom and your dad and your sister, they have a side to this story as well. And they do have a point of view. There is a tradition in the community. There's all of these years and generations of being told what's normal and what's not normal. And that's what you were dealing with. It's not specifically that your family was coming from an unloving place. And we saw that turn around on the show. And so we did need to see those conversations. So,
and like Kenny said, I really did have them because I did have a camera crew on me, and I probably wouldn't have gotten as deep or said as much as otherwise because we are a Latin family and we don't talk a lot, especially about deep things and emotions.
Within their family, they talk about everybody else, but not within their family.
Hey, I'm from a Latin family.
They know everything about them.
No, I know that specifically. You never talk about mental illness. You never talk about your finances. You never talk about anything. But you're right. Somebody walks across your, your view, and it's like you're going to talk about them. But it's like, girl.
Hey, so I'm gonna plug next week's show because it's what you're talking about. You're gonna be surprised at some of the things his family comes out with and says coming up this at the wedding. So I want people to really watch it because it kind of comes full circle.
Yeah. So check out 90 Day Fiance the other way on Sunday.
I am very, very excited. Okay, here's another fan question. Armando, are you going to start a new pet resort?
We've actually talked about it. Something I find hard about it is like on my parents' property, I don't mind investing in it and remodeling and all that. But here, like knowing that if I have to rent a place and invest all this money into it, and if it doesn't work out, like it's all that money lost, it makes me think twice about it. So I don't know. We've had talks about it.
Yeah, we talked about, but plus we're not sure exactly where we're gonna land long term. We've been here a couple of years, but there's some things in our brains that we're working out, so we're not exactly sure where we're gonna be.
And I mean, the one in my hometown is still open, it's still in business. My sister manages it for me, so that I still have an income from that. And here we also have work, so also to find the time is another issue.
Can you please tell your sister her makeup and her lashes on point, girl? Like kudos to her.
Oh my god,
my
Boy,
lord!
you just made her day.
I was like, you go, girl.
She's gonna like you.
Yeah.
Now, we see the house dads on the show. We see the loving couple. We don't see the gay couple that's out at the nightclubs, that's partying up, that's getting drunk at Sunday Fun Day. That is a part of being gay. Is that party aspect not part of your relationship, or are we just not seeing it on the show?
Actually, on the first season, we did go to a gay bar that was filmed, but it didn't make the cut.
Okay.
But there were some other aspects to it, and I can understand why it didn't. He has honestly yet, besides that one time, which is a very hole in the wall kind of place, you know, that you used to have in the 90s. It wasn't the best, but he has not really gone to a gay bar. It's not that we're opposed to it at all, but honestly, the last couple of years, we've been so busy. Yeah. We have a little girl at home.
True.
Our area that we live in, there's none of that really around here. So a lot of it is logistics, where we're at, things like that.
So I've yet to go to one that has actual strippers.
Yeah.
That I can see.
Okay, well, here's my invitation. Next time you guys are in LA, you let me know. I'm taking you out to WeHo, girl.
Whoa.
Girl. Mm-hmm.
We're gonna hoe with him.
Yes, that's a whole different show. TLC is like, no. Age difference was a real issue with some of the other storylines on 90 Day Fiance. Other than the talk about adopting, it really wasn't a dividing force between you both or your families. Do you think age difference in gay relationships is just more acceptable or accepted?
I mean, I think individually, I think that it depends on each relationship. Everything's different. Everyone's different. For us, as we always say, Kenny tells me that I am mature for my age, and you know, I'm an old soul. Yeah. So I think we kind of meet in the middle in that aspect. So a lot of it has to do.
I'm immature.
Yeah, so it has to do with who we are specifically as individuals, and I guess that's, you know, what makes our relationship work and not have an age issue.
I know a lot of outside people, you know, if it's a older lady and a younger man, they have a problem with it. And we have had some people come down on us about it. I've been called some names and stuff, like you know, going after a kid or something like that, which isn't the case. We just mesh perfectly. I've never been in a relationship or anything that I mesh so perfectly with somebody, and we do like the same things. All those kind of things that, the adoption thing, let me say that. We did talk about kids before I ever moved here, because I know people out there were like, you should have had this conversation before you ever got in a relationship or moved to Mexico. We did have that conversation, but it was like, okay, we don't need any more kids, blah, blah, blah. But after I got here and I've been here a year and a half, he saw things differently and saw, you know, I really would like to have a kid with you, blah, blah, blah. So people change their minds, and that's what happened in this case.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so let's talk about your relationship. Spill the tea about the first couple of weeks living together. It's one thing to spend, you know, a weekend here and there, Zooming all the time. It's another thing to share your space, your morning breath, your finances, differences in habits, morning hair.
It's still like this.
You're like, I'm done. I woke up like this.
Sorry. Okay, we're good.
What was the hardest thing, though, about having to adjust to life with the other?
Wow. A lot. Honestly, I know this sounds crazy, but we didn't have a lot of issues. You know, I came here many times. We spent, you know, different vacations together and things like that. So, you know, we knew if we farted or whatever, it was how it was. But we really got along pretty good with all of that. I think the only thing was, in the beginning, was a little bit with Hannah, with maybe including me with, you know, how things were going to be done with this, that, or the other thing. And that took a little time, but that was basically the only kind of issue we had.
Yeah, I think so. Then that was, you know, that was early on. And also me adapting to now having somebody else, you know, raising Hannah together with. And we've even said, like, even not only when we first moved in together, but like, what was it, 4 months later is when the pandemic hit. And it really gave us a chance to get to know each other even more. And we were together 24/7. We were really actually locked down, and it all went well. And, you know, we got along great.
And I said, if we went through a pandemic and planning a wedding and we're still together and we didn't kill each other, it's meant to be, man.
Well, for real, the pandemic and being under lockdown, a lot of couples did not make it through because it's like, yes, I love you, but 24/7 without anywhere to go. And, what do you think your key to success of surviving the pandemic was?
I mean, I don't have a key to success, I guess. For me, it was, I'm addicted to him. And I don't know if it sounds weird or stupid or what it is, but I'm addicted, and I'm addicted to being together. We're best friends. I like to be together. It's like I really enjoy his company. So, I mean, that's, I guess when you're with the right person, it's just going to happen.
And too, it's like, we always, from the very beginning, always put each other first. Like, we always try to give 51%, not just give 50%. We give 51%. And that's a big thing that a lot of couples don't do. I don't think they don't try to give more so their partner or husband or wife are happy. And we kind of consciously did that in the beginning, and it just can't, I don't know, it just comes natural for us. And and he promised me he wouldn't put me in a home, that they don't do that in Mexico. So when I get old, he has to take care of me.
Yep.
No, I did say in America, we here in Mexico, we believe that someone gets old and they put him in what do you call them?
A nursing home.
A nursing home. Here in Mexico, we take care of all, our parents or grandparents, our old people. And he's like, well, that's what you're doing. I said, no, we're doing it the American way.
You're like, that's the custom we are going to bring over.
Yeah, that's the one thing he wants to know.
Okay, we are going to play. Do you have a cocktail handy?
Hey, listen what we got.
Okay.
I made a special drink. I have my little shaker. It's all blinged out. So I'm going to shake it.
Yes, sir.
And we got a little, I got to put this on.
Yeah, hold these.
Yeah.
So we're prepping them live.
Yeah, we had it ready for you.
Oh,
but they're like
I love this.
A mezcal, kind of dirty martini-ish.
Oh, God, I love it.
Oops, I know it's leaking here. Oh, wait, but we're leaking all over the damn place.
Girl, get your stream right.
Okay. And we have shots after this. We're ready to go too. But we got our little bling glasses, so we're all set for you, man.
I love you guys. Okay, we're gonna do a little truth or sip. Tony, take it away.
Truth or sip on the Rocks with Alexander.
All right, truth or sip. You either have to answer the question or you take a big old sip. All right? Okay. Who is your least favorite other couple on 90 Day Fiance?
These are delicious.
Okay. Who takes longer to get ready in going out? Who's the bathroom diva?
Oh, Kenny, big time. Big time.
Duh.
Okay, all right. Who is the first to start a fight?
Kenny.
Oh, no. He just lied. He has to take a sip of lie.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
Take a sip, Henry. What I love about Armando is like, Kenny, like you're just very like out there and you just say it how it is. Armando, there was a few passive aggressive little comments to the side. I was like, girl, I heard you. You're just like, I'm going to stir shit up by talking real low and like it didn't matter, but it's passive aggressive. Who was the first to say sorry?
Me.
Yeah. Oh, you don't have to drink.
Yeah, okay.
Armando.
What other cast member from 90 Day Fiance would you designate as your hall pass? Meaning, if you know.
Who you would.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Smash. Oh!
I'm too embarrassed to answer that.
Oh.
We're going to sip.
Okay.
Sorry.
Girl, mine was Yazan season
There's
2.
a couple of them.
Yeah, I was like, girl, I'll
Who's
convert.
yours?
Yazan. Oh
Yeah.
my God, he's so handsome.
Who?
Azan.
Azan.
Britney's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. It's like,
that
free
one.
Britney. It's like, actually, when they showed his brother, I'm like, girl, I'm moving.
Yeah,
I'm
the brother's
converting.
better.
Yeah. I was like, God. So, yeah, that's one. Who is your partner's celebrity crush? Not from the show, but like Hollywood.
I know his. Carlos Riviera.
No. Is that true? Girl.
Yeah.
Girl.
Well, I have a lot.
Oh, my God.
Henry, what's the last Kabil?
Oh, Henry Cavill. Oh, God, yes.
Cavill.
Yeah. Yes,
Who's
okay.
yours? I don't even know.
See, he doesn't even know mine.
Who is it? Madonna.
No.
That's
I
gay.
don't know.
Yeah. Hey, she's everybody's.
Debbie Gibson.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna skip because I'm not gonna say.
Oh. There's gonna be some role play later this week. I'll tell you that much.
Nice.
It's like Superman and Carlos. What? Okay. The biggest pet peeve you have about the other person that you haven't told them yet. You're just like, oh God. It could be something little, but.
I think I've told you everything. Ooh. Oh, like when he does little things, he'll leave it all out, and I can follow his trail.
Okay.
For how long you take to get ready.
Oh yeah.
It irritates me because I'm ready 30 minutes sitting, waiting.
Okay.
True.
All right. When is the last inappropriate DM you've received?
15 minutes ago.
Right? Like the gays see another gay couple and they're like,
Dude.
oh, threesome. Okay, yeah. But
yeah, no, we get a lot of dick pics. But I even get booby and the JJ pics. I'm like,
why
you're
is
right,
that?
sending these to the wrong people.
yes. My God. Okay. All right. Armando, are you getting body parts?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey,
We're
that's
probably gonna get a lot more now.
yeah, you are.
Here's my.
I promise I don't zoom in or anything.
Just send directly to my email. Here's my email.
Talk about your arts and crafts. Armando's gonna have like a vision board with the body parts from the DMs.
Yeah, big vision board.
We know that you've done the media circuit, every kind of media. What is your least favorite interview question?
Spanish.
Yeah, the freaking Spanish question.
Oh, okay. When is the last time you both had sexy time with each other?
Oh.
Girl. And final question, is this your favorite interview ever? Yes, queen.
Yes,
Honestly, I want you guys to come to LA because I will show you around. It will be a good time. And we'll take Hannah to the Magic Castle, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
All right, well, that was our truth or sip. I want to know, does being married, has it changed anything between you? Or is it just, has it just been the same? Or did that ceremony shift something?
For me, it like solidified it, and I guess for me it was more meaningful because we did have to fight here to get our license and everything, and I'm sure him, going through it with his family. So not putting anyone else's marriage, like it didn't mean anything. I just felt it meant a lot more to us because of everything we had to go through, just the struggles of to be together, to what I left, moving to a new country and all that. We went through a lot to be together. And I'm not going to say too much, but for the wedding next week, when you watch on the show, there's actually anthem going to happen, a gay anthem. And there's some things that are going to come out about how I feel about that and why this marriage with Armando meant so much to me.
I don't think I can wait till Sunday, by the way. I'm going to call TLC. I'm like, I
We
need a
have to wait,
screener
too.
now. Armando, has anything changed for you?
No, I think, Kenny put it just right. Being married has solidified us, and obviously makes you take the relationship even more serious, and truly makes me feel like we are family, and I love where we're at in life, and our love has only grown, and really things have gotten better since.
Here.
Cheers to that.
We're going to cheers to that.
Cheers, sweeties. Kenny, my mom has a question, actually, because she watches the show religiously. And I was raised by her. It was just my grandma, my mom, and me. So I grew up with a single parent all my life. And I have to tell you, I never felt lacking. I never felt like, God, I don't have a father figure. My house was so full of humor and love. And that's all I can think about from my childhood. And, my mom did it at a time that it wasn't popular for a woman to be, doing everything on her own. So kudos to my mom. But she wants to know, she asked me to ask you, Kenny, what is your relationship with your parents, and where did you learn parenting skills to raise 4 kids?
My mom passed away already about 14 years ago. My dad is still with us. He's great. I have always had a great relationship with my parents for the most part, except when I was a teenager, of course.
Yeah.
But my parents were really family oriented. I have 5 brothers and sisters. So I probably learned a little bit from that. But honestly, my mom was very hands-on mom. She was a great mom, but she wasn't a loving mom. Like, she wasn't touchy-feely. And I felt I missed out on something like that. So when I had my kids, that was just her. It wasn't mean she was bad or anything. It was just her. But when I had my kids, I just naturally was like a lovey, touchy-feely, kissy kind of a dad, and still am. And I think it made a difference. And I just think, they know they can come to me with anything they have. They're never going to be judged by me, that we can always talk out anything. And I think it really cemented us in a really great bond. And I just have a terrific, wonderful relationship with all my kids. And they're all adults now and everything, but we just still are super, super tight. And that's why it was so hard moving away.
That was a very heartbreaking scene. Well, for both of you moving away from your family, and it's like at that question, it's like, at what point is giving up too much? And it's like, what's the balance there? Because, yes, you're celebrating the love, but it also comes from a lot of heartbreak.
Yeah, that was a dilemma leading up to everything, because like when he first professed that he wanted to start something more than a friendship with me, I said, I don't see how that can work, just because I live thousands of miles away in a different country. I have a whole family here. I just didn't see how it was going to work. And he said, anything is possible, stuff like that. And so we decided to give it a go. And it just was an undeniable love between us, an undeniable bond. And that's the only thing that could take me away from where I raised my kids and being with my kids, is that it was true love. It wasn't, if I thought it was something less than, or maybe this will work out, maybe it won't. And you probably saw that on the show too. A lot of people are like, I'm just going to give it a try and see what happens. Yeah. Maybe it'll work. I had to know it was going to work.
That's exactly
I wasn't
right.
going to risk all this. And to my head, I just knew it was going to work. And I knew it was a real love. So that's why I chose that. And here we are.
Well, it's
actually something that Kenny always gets, is like, why don't you get someone in Florida or find someone in Florida? But
people asking me this.
Yeah, but like he says, love, takes you where love is.
I'll be blunt. I've had people like, why would you leave your entire family just to go get young dick in Mexico? And I'm like, there's young dick in Florida. I don't need to go to Mexico.
Believe me, there's a lot of, yeah. Well, it's true love when you drive days and days. Here in West Hollywood, if some hot guy wants you to drive to Santa Monica, you're like, are you kidding me? That's like a different nation. And here you are driving days and days. It's like, that's love, girl. It's like, if my Uber is more than $20, you're staying at home by yourself tonight.
Yeah. Well, he better pay it for one.
Right? Yeah. I love calling an Uber, after a one-night stand. It's like, bye. But if it's like $34.99, it's like, you better call your Uber now. But that affection...
Where is that Uber?
Yeah. Wait for them outside, bitch. But that affection that you were talking about, I love to see how readily your kids hugged and kissed, new people that they were meeting. And the same with Hannah, the affection that she has naturally. And this is what naturally kids are growing up with. They're growing up without... they're initially... grown up without bigotry or knowing hate or how to treat people badly. Their natural inclination comes from a place of love. And I really love to see the affection that Cooper so freely had. We're talking about a boy and what's expected of a boy growing up. It's, this is a boy can be affectionate with their family, can be affectionate with people that they're just meeting. And that was so special to see. There's just so much love there. And oh my God, Cooper is so adorable.
Yes, he is. Where do you see him next week? He steals the show too.
Kenny, one thing that you talked about in both seasons, and it really affected me, was coming out kind of during and being around for the AIDS epidemic. our younger generation doesn't know what that means or looks like, and in the age of PrEP, it's now like, oh well, it's a pill you take and it goes away. Can you talk a little bit about what life was like as a gay man during the AIDS epidemic and what you want the younger generation to know the most about that time?
Yeah. I even had to talk with Armando about it because I came out in the 80s and the AIDS HIV epidemic hit hard right as I was coming out and into the 90s. And all my friends, everybody I knew, and I say on the show, at least 80% of them had passed by the mid 90s. Everybody was gone. And some people, which was really odd, and I look back on it sometimes today, is like, I was talking to, Bill just yesterday, and all of a sudden he's vanished and gone because some people died quickly or they moved back to be where they came from, like their hometown or whatever, to go back and die. And that is the saddest thing in the world to me, is this, like, people were preparing to die left and right. And some people you didn't even get to say goodbye to. Yeah. All of a sudden they were just gone.
That's exactly right.
And I say on the show, I've been to so many wakes and memorials at that time, I can't even count them. So it affected my life moving forward, because I thought, how am I going to live my life? Because I escaped all this. Somehow it didn't affect me in that way. I need to do something positive with my life. And that's one reason I wanted to have children, because I wanted to give support to a child. I wanted to love a child, and I just wanted to live for the people that couldn't live and didn't get to live. And this is something that also that I alluded to about the show Sunday. You're going to see some of this play out on Sunday's show, because I do talk about this and relive some things that happened, and why I wanted to have a great wedding for my friends and that didn't make it this far, that they never dreamed that this was even possible for us. And here it is, it's possible and it's happening. So that's one thing I try to tell younger people, because we have had younger people message us many times about things, is that, they need to really appreciate their lives, live their lives as they see fit, live in a positive manner, just be great people, have a sense of humor about life, and just really live it. Because so many people before you didn't get that chance.
I absolutely love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's a very important part of our gay history and world history. Yeah. Really, I mean, it affected everybody.
I also say, like, our generation, if you're close to my generation, it really was a generation. I kind of wrote a piece on it, but our generation is a generation that was almost lost, because so many people just passed away left and right. I remember, like, where I was, there was a dance studio that was for gay men. They started out with 40 couples, and by the end of the 80s, they had nobody left. There was only a couple people that, like, survived that time. It's just mind-boggling to me, that this really happened. And as I said, that's why I chose to really live a full life. And that is one reason I'm here today, because I didn't want to regret anything. I didn't want to not do something that I really felt my heart was right. So that's why I ended up in Mexico, and I'm with this man right here.
I absolutely love that. Also, another ramification from the AIDS epidemic was not just, the lives lost. It was also the amount of people that had to go back in the closet because of the environment. It's also how mainstream culture viewed gay people, that we were dirty people that were dying from this God's given disease that really set our whole equal rights movement back, decades. And so that is another victim of the AIDS epidemic. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, we're going to do a little Hot Topic, so you probably want to take another swig. We're going to do Hot Topics here on the Rocks. Tony, take it away.
It's time for Hot Topics on the Rocks with Alexander. Better pour yourself another.
This is hot. That's hot. That's hot. This is really hot. That's hot.
You guys, it's so hot. Okay, this hot topic's perfect for you guys. We are heading into the holidays, and more often than not, we have to spend time with family members who do not share our beliefs or political opinions. This year, we have COVID and the last administration, still hot topics at the dinner table. Here's the hot topic for discussion. Should we forgive and forget family members' actions, social media posts, or dinner table opinions in honor of peace at the holiday table? Such as if someone says, I love Trump, do you just smile and drink more wine? What to do?
He wouldn't. I would.
I'm bad about calling people out. It's bad of me. But I would really try hard, and I'd be more than wine. I'd have to do a couple of shots. But sometimes I can be that bitch. I don't want to be.
And Armando, you just be like, okay.
Yeah, I keep to myself.
He lets things slide.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing is, this is probably the first Thanksgiving that a lot of families have had to spend together in 2 years because of COVID. And now it's the first, you can actually travel and see them. So we got 2 years to catch up on, and you know how things have been heated. So Aunt Martha's going to be there talking about not getting the vaccine or, voting the way that she did.
She's coughing.
Yeah, or, all turkey meat matters or, stupid bullshit like that. And so I wonder if stakes are higher that it is our duty to say something and challenge people on their beliefs because we've been through so much. We're kind of at a war almost.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this: being with Kenny, I've definitely gained some power and confidence, and I do say more of what I think, and I do fight more with people. But
once in a while he'll get snippy with me. I said, "You don't get snippy with me." He goes, "You taught me." I said, "On other people, not me."
Yes, it's like how the student has become the teacher.
Yes. Take the pebble from my hand.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was our On the Rocks hot topic. There you go.
Let's take a drink.
Yeah, let's take a drink. When we look at your social media, between the two of you, even just on Instagram, you have about 1 million people reached. That's a far cry from 2 quiet single gay dads from a couple of years ago. That also comes with a lot of pressure of posting the right thing, being a spokesperson for the LGBTQ community. Now you have your own brand, so to speak. How do you deal with that kind of social media pressure?
Well, we try to be nice, honestly, to everybody, and we try to see everybody's point of view, and we have to honestly change some people's mind just talking to them. I've gotten DMs where people were calling me a name or saying something. I'll be like, so why do you think you want to act that way towards me or stuff like that? So I try to educate in a way, in a nice way. There have been some people I've had to block because there's no change in their mind. But we really try to do it with our deeds, but we try to do it in a kind manner. We really do.
Obviously it took some getting used to, people having opinions, getting hated on, all that. But for me, it came along with coming out and getting that thick skin and not caring what people thought about me. So what I was dealing through in real life, I sort of applied it, towards hate from people that I don't know on the show, and just be like, I don't care what you say, kind of thing. And it's been okay for me. It's not as bad. Plus, we are very loved, so that definitely has helped. That our hate percentage is quite low compared to other cast members.
Yeah, we lucked out there, surprisingly, in a lot of ways. But we really do. I just tell people, let's just go out and be positive today. Go get a hug or give a hug.
Well,
you definitely have to be careful with what you post, for sure.
Well, and that's, or even if you can't do a hangover post or something, it has to be curated, so to speak. But I want to tell the audience too that you've also used the presents for good. Recently, you raised money for an orphanage. I saw that on your social media. I'm like, well, that's a good use. Can you talk a little bit about how you raised money?
Yeah, we actually, on the show, you'll see that we are in talks, or you've seen that we talked about expanding our family. So one of those options was adopting a child. And we ended up finding an orphanage that only has children with HIV. There's still a lot more to come with all that. But from that visit, we decided,
fell in love.
Yeah, we fell in love with the kids, and we're like, we're going to help them because we found out that they really don't get help because of their condition.
Yeah.
We actually just went last week, and they told us how the kids try to give candy for Halloween, like in the neighborhood.
That their orphanages in.
Yeah, that they were at the door, and like all the kids were going by, didn't want to stop and get candies from them. So you still see this here in Mexico, sadly, that they're afraid that they'll catch HIV just by getting candy from these kids. And it was sad to hear that like the kids were questioning, like, why don't these kids want to stop and get candies from us? And some of them don't fully understand it. Some of them do, but it really is sad. So all this and knowing what they're going through really has made us fall in love with these kids. And that's a GoFundMe page to help them and give them something that maybe they haven't had. And thankfully we do have the show, because obviously we wouldn't have been able to do this without the show and all the viewers. And to me, it's really hard sometimes to, not hard, but like, I really would like to thank each and every person who has donated, because, you know, it's because of all the viewers, and we wouldn't have done it without them.
The 90-day universe of supporters and fans out there really came through for this. So it shows that a lot do have a heart. They're not just out there trying to look for some crazy couples or whatever. They really do have a heart. And like our first campaign raised over $19,000, and we started a second campaign like to help through Christmas and different things. It's already around $5,000. So it's going pretty good, and they really appreciate it. We're looking at inquiring a lot that's next to the orphanage to build a playground and a park area. So we're working on that now, and we'll have more on that after the first of the year. But we're really, we're not just like showboating or trying to just put on something. We're really digging in with this, and we're going to get our hands dirty here, because we really, really super want to help these kids, because they're really amazing. All of them are so loving, and they all have smiles on their faces every time we go to visit them. It's really a blessing just to be in their presence, and that just makes us want to help them even more. For sure.
Well, I love you guys for that. A fan question: what does a typical day or week look like for you?
Seems like we're always busy.
Doing nothing.
Well,
out of school.
Yeah, we have school, just everyday living. We both have like online jobs. He does some architecture work, and I'm doing some stuff for websites. But we also we have our online store that we pretty much do ourselves, and it's been really successful too. So we have a lot of packaging sales and stuff like that. So we're pretty much busy morning and night.
KennyandArmando.com.
Yes, for sure. By the way, great branding. Let's talk about a little bit about always being in the public eye. Now, like when you're at Costco, people are recognizing you. You know, you can't really like fight in public. You can't really, disagree in public, because people are just like, oh, there you go. It's the beginning of the end. It's like, no, we're just in a normal relationship, having normal relationship, little squabbles. But you're always, the minute you leave your house, people are expecting you to be the couple that we see on screen, or look for little cracks in that kind of relationship. That must be very hard to build a healthy relationship under that scrutiny.
What was weird was we saw online someone posted a picture of us, and I had my finger up. It was like a we didn't know they took it, and they never came up and talked to us, but it looked like we were fighting or something. We really weren't, but the picture made it look like it. But we didn't even realize people were snapping pictures of us behind our back.
Isn't
it felt like
crazy?
Lindsay Lohan or something. But so I guess you got to watch yourself. But we weren't even, anything wasn't really going on, but it made it look like it was.
I mean, definitely we're human, and I do get annoyed at Kenny sometimes. He gets annoyed
What?
at me. It is a reality. But no, I think in public we've never fought.
I don't think we've had anything.
I'm usually in the mood on the way back home, because he drives
He hates
crazy.
my driving, so he'll be in a mood in the car. Like, why in the mood? You're driving.
Yeah.
Armando, it's those passive-aggressive little one-liners. I see them.
He's on to you.
Yeah. Now, where do you see where do you see you and your family in 5 years?
What we can say, because there are some things coming up, but we can say, I just know we're going to be together, still loving each other, caring about each other. Hannah's raising Hannah, supporting her, giving her the best life possible. Where we're going to be, more children, different things like that. still yet to come. We can't say, but we're always like this, what happens, happens. It's meant to happen if it happens. If it doesn't, that's how it's supposed to be as well. But main thing is, our story didn't start, on the show, and it's not ending like next week when the finale happens. Our story continues, and we're excited about the future.
Have you hung out with any other couples from 90 Day Fiance?
Yeah, here and there. I'm going to ask you something. Who do you think my best show buddy is? Who my best friend is on the show?
Ooh, that's a good...
Maybe you don't know because you haven't seen maybe enough of it.
That's a good question.
Another spin-off.
But it's on the other spin. But you know who Jovi and Yara are?
No.
They're on 90 Day Fiance and Happily Ever After. They're a real popular guy. But Jovi's one of my good friends. And we've hung out with some of these couples. Actually, we never hung out with anybody that's on our spinoff.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's some of the other ones.
I mean, COVID too. It's been
COVID, and
right.
then most of on the other way, everybody's in different countries.
Yeah.
So 90 Day Fiance or Happily Ever After or some of those, it's all centered in United States, so they can hang out more. So all of us are in different countries spread out over the world.
But I'm sure you definitely have your opinions on the other couples on your spinoff. But
You'll see. Guess what? The week after the marriage next Sunday, the tell-all is on.
Oh.
And you're going to see some
I
of
know,
those
wait.
opinions come to life.
hey, TLC, if you need a host for one of those tell-alls, I know how to stir the pot. What reality shows or what TV shows are you guys currently watching?
Ooh, we don't watch a lot of TV. We watch some TLC. We watch mostly TLC.
It's so addicting.
What's the
Every
one you
show
watch
is
on there?
addicting.
Yeah, I know. What is it?
Was Too Hot to Handle.
Oh, yeah, we watch The Circus.
The
And
Circle.
The Circle on Netflix.
They're hitting The Circus. Even though we're annoyed already at it, but we keep watching. It's one of those you want to keep watching.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll watch movies here or there, but we're not big TV people. But we have we watch old Datelines. But we do watch The Single Life and all the TLC shows. We do watch a lot of that. Guilty.
And Kenny, have you gotten into any of the telenovelas in Mexico?
No, but he doesn't really watch a lot of it either. But I always tell his sister that she acts like that.
Hey, well, she's got those lashes. She's ready for her own
we're sitting
telenovela.
across the table and they hit you. So.
Oh God,
Or if you're hot,
I
you're
love
like
it.
a fan. I
Yeah,
think your
you're
eyes
like,
a
woo,
little faster.
there we go. I'm telling you, those men in those telenovelas, though, I mean, that's... You want to learn Spanish real fast? That's what you want to learn. Any word on season 4?
We can't say anything right now. Except there's going to be a season 4.
Truth or sip. And Armando, this is a fan question, has anybody else in your extended family come out because of your relationship?
No one else.
No one's come out, but I will say this. Here I'm butting in. I won't say who, but somebody in his family came out to me. So.
Do I know that?
Yeah, I told you.
Oh, okay.
But you know what I'm talking about now? I can't say the name, but
maybe I do.
It's a girl. But
yeah.
But she kind of came out to me and told me, and she was telling me how proud she is of Armando for being able to do it, and that that we're together, and hopefully that their family will now be more open for others that wanted to come out. But that's one person that's on the cusp of doing it.
She's married though, so it makes it hard.
She's married, and so she's trying to navigate through all that.
But this is the culture I think a lot of people don't realize, especially us in the major cities in the U.S. We're kind of in our LGBTQ bubble where we think everything has evolved. And there are a lot of people in even in smaller towns in the U.S. or in other countries, as we're seeing, that literally are forced to lead a double life. or not be their true selves at the risk of their own life. And that's not even being dramatic. That is literally the case. In certain nations, you will be killed for who you really are, or you'll be ostracized, or you'll lose everything. And that is the reality of what's still happening in our nation, and why it's so important to share our stories as LGBTQ people, as hard as it may be, as difficult as some of these conversations might be. It's integral for us all to move on.
Yes.
So bring that to your Turkey Day dinner. Gentlemen, I have to tell you what a joy it has been. Number one, to get to know you more through the show, to get to feel like I'm part of the family. And, again, it's that you sharing your life is in such an intimate level. I feel like we know each other, yes. And I'm telling you, when you guys come to LA, we're gonna party. Familia, and bring that crazy sister of yours too. She will do quite well in Los Angeles.
A family that drinks.
Yes. Hey, that's how it starts, right? Thank you, gentlemen. Please tell our audience where you want them to find and follow you.
You can follow us on Instagram. I'm Armando_90day.
And I'm Kenneth_90day. That's the best place to reach out to us and follow us.
And your website?
I'm also on Twitter, KAN_Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it's so easy. And what is your website again for people to come check out your products?
We're on our website is KennyandArmando.com. You can find a lot of our merchandise and stuff on there.
We have a lot of and everything's our designs. A lot of it's done by Armando's hands. We have a lot of Pride shirts. We have other T-shirts too. He has a candle collection that he makes all on his own. Hannah bows, where he makes all the bows that are on there as well. Lots of stuff. Sweatshirts, all kinds of stuff.
Awesome. Thank you, gentlemen, so much. I cannot wait for the wedding episode of 90 Day Fiance. A special thank you to TLC as well for having you guys come share your story with us here. I had a great time. I cannot wait to hang out in real life.
Yes, we had a great time too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, we will see you soon, hopefully.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye. And that's our show. I'm telling you, you have to watch the final, the big wedding finale of 90 Day Fiance, and you need to binge watch these episodes. In addition to Kenny and Armando, there's so many great stories. Some good, some bad, but it's good TV, and it's you learn about different cultures. It's always a grab bag of fun here every weekend on The Rocks. A big thank you to our fabulous guests, our engineer, Tony Sweet, our social media clip editor, Alexis Mendez. Please like and share and subscribe so we can continue bringing you this fabulous show for free. Coming up, we had Food Network stars who are coming to share their holiday cooking secrets, and we have one of the new co-stars from the new Dexter, by the way, and more. So stay happy, stay healthy, stay sexy, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
This has been another episode of On the Rocks. Tweet me and slide into my DMs on Twitter and Instagram at On the Rocks On Air. Find everything On the Rocks for free at OnTheRocksRadioshow.com. Subscribe, like, review, and share. Until next week, stay fabulous.